Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kyusho here, and now, before we do continue, let us give a brief little review. In the last part, a number of things have happened. Now, we had Deku and Charlie. Charlie was still trying to deal with what happened with Ron and her father. Ron was shot whenever Charlie had to defend herself against the man, and he was deemed to be a stalker, so Charlie will not have charges filed against her. Now, Charlie, she also went to the hospital to talk to her father 2 weeks later. And Deku, he even had a chance to talk to John. John was not mad at Izuku. Yes, he was shocked. Yes, he was surprised. He was more mad that these photos existed. And he wanted to try and scare Deku. See if Deku might run off or he might try and stand up to him. He knows the type of boy Izuku is, but he's not exactly too sure. And that meant quite a lot of things. Deku, he talked about how he actually thought about proposing to Charlie. And that made Mr. Weaver a little bit more proud of the boy. The boy loves his daughter. And John decided to at least tell Izuku one thing. There's a lot of things in his life that have happened. A lot of regrets the old man does have. But he wants Charlie to know some information. Yes, right now may not be the best time, but it's either now or never. He's thought about hiding the information from Charlie her whole life, but he's not so sure now. Because if he hides it, she may find it, end up hating him, or, well, you know. He doesn't know. And Deku, he was given the information. He currently does sit there. The next morning, holding on to the letter John trusted him with. And Deku, he's not too sure what to do. This letter here in his hand, he doesn't know what's inside of it. But John wanted him to give it to Charlie and have her read his letter first. But he does know what that does entail. He knows exactly what it entails. And that right now is on his mind. As Deku, he does sit there at the edge of the bed, an old, crumpled letter in his hand. He's not too sure what to say, not too sure what to do. There's two of them. And, well, they were in an envelope. He should take this to Charlie, right? Hide it from her or give it to her. Let her see what's going on. Know what this is. But in order to do that, he needs to do one thing first. As Deku currently is going to sit down one of the letters and start to read one of them. As he does, he's going to start reading the few names. Dear John. And Deku, he does start from there. But he doesn't see the name at the bottom. The name Sharon. And that definitely does surprise Deku. This letter was written about Charlie and John. And that, it says quite a bit. He always thought Charlie's mom died whenever she was younger. But that's not the case. She's alive. And Deku, he does sit there thinking about that. It's insane. This is... Wow. Wow. Now, Deku, he does a turn. Grabbing the other letter, I'm going to set this one down. As he is just going to read it. As it is from John. One with a little bit of sloppy handwriting, and with a stain at the bottom of the paper. He's assuming from either a beer or probably a glass of whiskey. One of the two. And Deku, he does start to read a few more things. It talks about what happened. And Deku, he does understand both sides of it. But he does understand John's more, where he might be coming from with this. And currently Deku, he does go to bring his hand up. Him pulling out his phone and calling Charlie. Hello? Hey, Charlie. Are you back at the apartment? Yeah, I haven't really left. You said you had to get something from my dad's place? Yeah, yeah. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. Mhm. What? What do you mean? Charlie, your dad wanted me to tell you something and give you something. I don't know how to. I don't even know where to start. It's heavy. Very heavy. What do you mean? Ice the whiskey I have in the cabinet, and I'll come back home. I'll bring by some food, and probably another dozen of donuts. Okay, Izuku, you don't have to do that. Fine. I'm gonna bring by some food, and you just chill the whiskey. I have to think about this. Izuku, what did you find? You just have to see it in person. See what? I'll be home soon. No, Izuku, wait. I'm gonna hang up. And currently Deku's a stand. Him going to bring his hand back over and grab onto the letter. Him pulling it up and looking at the phone number on the bottom. He doesn't know if this is even still in service, but maybe it's worth giving a shot? Hmm. Okay. Okay, well, there's this one, but then there's. Hmm. Okay. A name. A name. Right. Hey, I'm gonna dial the phone number. And currently, Deku, he does go to someone to hear the phone ring before somebody does go to answer. Hello? Hi. Can I speak to Sharon if she's there? Sharon? Yes. Is this not Sharon Rose Weaver? Um, no, it isn't. Okay. Do you possibly know who she is? Anything at all? I know Sharon, but may I ask who this is? This is Izuku Midoriya. Listen, you don't know me, but it's kind of important I talk to Sharon. It has to do with a man named John Weaver. John Weaver? Yes. Do you think that you can get me into contact with her? Listen, it's very important. Um, hang on. Can I ask why you're calling me about this? It's a long story. Best way to explain it in a simple term is Mr. Weaver had a heart attack and he pointed me to this letter. It has his phone number written down and I don't know. I just I thought about calling it because maybe she kept the same phone number. Maybe she was expecting a call like this. I just I know it's a stretch, but I know her. Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm John's daughter's boyfriend, Charlie Weaver. Ch- Charlie Weaver? Yeah, sorry, I never got your name. Um, my name is Amy, but Charlie Weaver? Yes, yes. Listen, okay, hang on a second, hang on a sec. This is a lot to take in. And you're fucking with me, right? Huh? You're fucking with me. No, I'm not. Listen, John Weaver had a heart attack and he's in the hospital. Look him up if you don't believe me. I know it's hard to understand and explain, but I need to talk to Sharon. It's about her daughter, Charlie. Her daughter? Yes. Yes. Listen, just please. I need to talk to her. before I tell Charlie about the letter I found. I'm I need to call you back. Okay, listen. This phone number works fine, but it's crucial I talk to her. I'm willing to pay you money. Okay, this is weird. No. Listen. I just want to talk to her. It's really important. Charlie needs to see her again. To talk to her, maybe. Find out what happened between her mom and dad. Okay. I'll call you back. The person's gonna hang up. And right now, Amy, she doesn't bring up her phone. Her right now about to try and call Sharon. However, there actually is where a text has come through. Her clicking on the contact for Sharon and going to call. As the message is going to pop up, and she actually is going to bring it down. Her staring at the image before going to click on it fully. And that's where she has to see it. A picture of Sharon, her and her long white hair. And then a man there who he looks happy. But the most alarming thing about this picture is that there's Sharon sitting there in a sundress with a giant pregnant belly with a man she's never seen before. And currently Sharon doesn't answer it. Hello? Amy? Hey. I I have a question to ask. Now, let's get back over to Deku. Deku, he's staring down at the photo. It's surprising. Sharon, Charlie's mother, a woman he's never even heard the name of. This is the first time he's actually seen a picture of her. She looks so much like Charlie. It's kind of alarming. Though, it also kind of makes sense. He did say that she always took after her mom. And currently goes to head somewhere else. He has to stop by somewhere and pick up some food. Him heading back to the apartment as currently goes to walk in. Him going to set down the bag and turn to Charlie. Him bringing his hand out and pulling out the envelope. Him going to actually pull the picture out and turn, holding it down to Charlie. And Charlie's to look up. Her going to actually lean forwards and set on her glass, bring up her left hand. So what is... Is that my dad? Yeah. Her holding onto the photo. I don't... This is... Wait, that's my mom. Yeah, she looks a lot like you. That... This is... Wow. I haven't seen her before. Yeah. Listen, there's also this. Deku pulling out the envelope. Him pulling out one of the letters as he at least look to see Sharon's letter. Him tucking it back in and pulling out John's. And then actually Charlie just won't see that. Her asking him what's up. Him pulling out John's letter and then going to actually sit down the envelope, talking about how there's another one in there. As Deku's to turn and walk over. And Charlie's going to start read the following. Dear Charlie, listen, I don't know how long it'll be until you read this. I'm writing this while you're still in your room crying. Yeah. She hasn't come home. I was worried and concerned, and I thought our last fight things would work out well. But they didn't. Right now, I'm trying my best to take care of you. I'm doing what I can and what I think I can. I don't know. She just... She abandoned you, and she abandoned me. I'm not too sure how else to really explain this. But there's... Charlie's seeing it cut off. Before he's going to pick up somewhere else. And she does at least get to see it. Her father wrote down a date. And it does so confuse her. Her looking up and looking back down. Seeing that these were written years apart, Hurley's trying to scan through the entire thing again, and seeing the dates written down on the side, her confused. Some of these dates are more recent, and one of them's actually from, oh my god, what's up? Um, this one's from 5 years ago. Okay, is that good? I, he wrote it whenever I was 18. Shit. Yeah. Uh, we're gonna go back up. Not too sure how to feel about that last part. She saw the few words it said, but then he erased them. Then he tried again and erased them again. And tries to go back up. Her going to someone read it more. And it tries to talk about it. Charlie's mother abandoned her while she was still 2 to 3 years old, and she ran off. She thought she could do what she could, make it big, and possibly come back home. She had a dream, and she didn't want to give up on it. But she didn't know how to deal with Charlie. She never really wanted to be a mom. She even talked about it before. She doesn't know why she's really doing this sometimes. He doesn't fully know what was going through her mind, but she didn't seem enthusiastic to be a mother. She didn't seem like she cared. And the two fought about that a lot. He cared for Charlie and wanted the best for her. But oftentimes than not, she just ignored her. And then there was the day he came home and she was crying in her room and she was just passed out drunk. He yelled at her, screamed at her, and then she ran off. She left and he thought she'd just be gone for a few hours. Then it was a day. Then it wasn't a week. Then a month. He doesn't know where she went. He tried to keep track of her, tried to do what he could, call her, text her, find her. And he did hear about her. Though, eventually she tried to come back. And he didn't think that it was good for her to be around Charlie. Charlie reading that. He lied to her whole life. Sure, she, she has a mother. She isn't dead. But she abandoned her? That right now in her mind. And right now her heart is thumping in her chest. And Deku does just sit there. He sees the color fade from Charlie's face. The way her face just drops. And he stares on. As she does continue to read. And Deku, he does just sit there. Him watching Charlie as she just sit down the letter. Her gonna read the other one. And the other one's a lot more enthusiastic. It talks about how she wants to continue on her dreams. She understands Charlie is his daughter. She's not going to try and run off with a baby and take care of her. But she wants to be able to live her life the way she thought she could. And if that doesn't work out, she'll come back. And if it does work out, she'll, well, send some money back home. Try and help take care of them. She aspires to be better, be out there, be known, be remembered for something. And that was where things got a little weird. Her mom abandoned her to try to be a rock star. She tried to make music. I mean, that's what it's got to be, right? She took off with a guitar, tried to make it big. What the fuck was going through her mind? This just isn't right. She just, that in her mind. And tries to sit there. Deku walking over and setting down the bag, bringing his hand up around Charlie as his throat over her shoulder. Him pulling her in. Do you want a milkshake? She. I. I don't. I know. Why? I don't know. Why? Why did she. She never came back home. I know. I think you did the right thing. Her returning to Deku. And I know she doesn't know how to feel about that. The idea just fucks with her head. Her whole life, her mother was thought to be dead. Now she's alive, but she wanted nothing to do with her. She ran off and never came home. But that just doesn't make sense. And she's not too sure what to say, what to even do. She's dumbstruck. And that right now is where she is at. As Deku, here's at least bring up the milkshake. Him holding it out to Charlie as she says don't grab it. Her looking down as Deku hears her to pull the food out of the bag. And Charlie is to sit there. Her trying to think about exactly what to do. However, right now we do cut over to Amy. Amy is angry, and she drove out to her mother's house to try and understand what the fuck she's been hiding from her whole life. Why the fuck John Weaver, a man she's never even heard of until today, basically came calling because, hey, surprise, surprise, Amy, you have a fucking sister. Now, Sharon was definitely alarmed talking to Amy about all this. However, she's also concerned. John had a heart attack, and he's finally reaching out. Now, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.